How to do parallel kick 90s. Mounted these two small pieces of strut. I'm using my panel as a reference point. This is not how you would do it in the field. This is simply for demonstration purposes. So our goal, which is what this black mark is right here, the back of our conduit, we want after it's kicked to land just like that. Back of the conduit to that line. Off the wall to here, it is 4 7/8 of an inch. Our junior strut is 7/8 of an inch. So we're going to need a 4-inch kick back. I've already bent my first 90. Bent is 8 inches. I keep 2 inches center to center spacing for my 3/4 and 1 inch conduit. Everyone has a different opinion on that. Some people use 1 3/4, some use 1 7/8. I like to use 2 inches. It is what it is. So my first 90 is 8 inches. Ways you can do this. This is just the preferred way I like to do it. So we're going to pick a measurement. Some people use multipliers, that's fine. This is just how I like to do it. So we need a 4-inch kick 90. Let's just say we want our first mark to be at 11 inches off the back of the 90. So what we're going to do, I'm using Sharpie solely for the demonstration because it's easier to show up. First things first, make your mark. You can do your kick. 1, you can eyeball it, don't do that. 2, you can do one of these 2 hickeys. I'm not a fan of that. Number 3, on the Milwaukee tape measures many others. The base shows a number right here, which is 3.5. All I got to do is simply pull this out to a 1/2 inch. I now have a 4-inch kick marker. Don't be doing kicks without a level for many reasons. At this point, you can choose kind of where you want to put it in the bender. I'm going to use the front of the shoe for my kicks, or the front of the hook, shoe, however you want to, whatever you want to call it. But I put it lining up the front of the shoe with that mark. Once again, I use Sharpie because it shows up better. And it's as simple as getting it level, kicking it up, keeping it level the entire time. If you do not keep it level the entire time, it's going to come out all jacked up, and you do not want that. I'm in my garage. I don't really have any starter endpoints. I'm just working with what I have. But we have kick number, or our first kick up, obviously not reamed either, but that's an 8-inch 90. So our next piece, since we're going to have 2 inches center to center from conduit to conduit, we're simply going to add 2 inches to our first 90, or to our second 90, which is going to be our bigger 90. So he's going to be 10 inches rather than 8 inches. And then our mark, which was 11 inches off the back of this 90, we're simply going to add 2 inches to it. So instead of 11, it'll be 12 or 13. Add 2 inches, which is our center to center spacing. So had we used 1 3/4 and 1 7/8, we would have added that to 11. I'm using 2 inches, so from 11 for our first one, 13 on our second one. Same. However you're kicking this, how you put it on the arrow to begin with, use the arrow again. I use the front of the hook, front of the bender, however you want to call it. That's what I'm using again. So line it up. Once again, have my level on it, and then level, level, kick. As simple as that. And there you guys go, parallel kick 90s. As you can see, once again, don't use Sharpie. I use it for the demonstration, and it's easier to see on camera. Both the kick marks line up. The one thing I did not mention, so this was 8 inches. Let's just say out in the field you determined you need an 8-inch 90 by, let's just say, a 40-inch 90. I'm not saying that's what this is. Let's just assume this was a 40-inch 90. On your next one, obviously add 2 inches because our center to center spacing is 2 inches. So you're going to add 2 inches to your 90. Or your second 90, your outside 90, which puts that at 10 inches. Bring that down here. There you guys go, your parallel kick 90s. As you can see, the kick marks match up here. We have it strapped and supported. Obviously, in the field, you're not going to have supports this close. Once again, I'm working in my garage. Or not working, but I do my demonstrations in my garage. But like I said, 2 inches center to center. Our first 90 was 8 inches. Let's just assume, I didn't mention this part, but let's assume that this leg was 40 inches. So our pipe number 2, since we're adding 2 inches, or center to center spacing is 2 inches, we obviously add 2 inches, like I said, to make these match. So this is 10 inches. If this was 40 inches on the leg, this would be 42. That way everything matches up. It's as simple as that, though. Your center to center spacing, point blank. So once again, bend your first 90, whatever you determine those measurements to be. You can either do the multiplier method to make your kick. I like to just measure off the back of the 90, make a mark, do it like that. That's just a preferred preference. After you get your first one, if you're working from inside to out, you're going to add your center to center spacing. So as we go out, we're just going to continue to add 2 inches to the 90, to the leg. If you were working from outside to in, you would simply subtract. And just so you can see, bam, 5 and 7, that is 2 inches center to center. Same thing down here, pretty straightforward though. But if you have any questions, concerns, let me know. Something else that could also help is writing all your measurements down on a piece of paper, cardboard, or on an unfinished wall. I like to do that if I have multiple. But yeah, if you have any questions, concerns, let me know. And as always, have a great day. Peace. Also, if you're out on the job site, Yetis are just expensive. Arctics, 500 times better. way less not cost effective, way more cost effective. I've used this for a while and I love it. But guys, have a great day. Peace.